Ahoy there, me hearties. This be Captain Silverhook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha ha ha!
Hello everybody and welcome to podcast episode 156 of the Two Old Pirates. It's been quite a while since I've been on here, but I decided to come back rip-roaring with a really cool story. So this one's going to deal with an occurrence that happened at Rockport-Fulton High School, my alma mater. And if you're a pirate, your alma mater. This happened 40 years ago. That's a long time ago. So as I had pondered, should I do this episode, I was like, that's 40 years. Is it wrong to tell the story? I mean, it happened. It was a one-day occurrence. Let's do this. So I might start telling little tales about in some high school stories. Nothing bad, just remembering. So basically 41 years ago, I was a freshman in high school. I know that sounds crazy because, I look 30. But I was a wee lad of 14 or 15, and I had a class with a certain coach. And I liked the coach. He was new to the district and new to me and everybody else and stuff. And he seemed like a really good guy. He was, if I can remember, he's probably about 6'3", maybe 6'4". He had that 80s haircut, the short brown hair, a little bit over the ears, kind of down the middle and stuff. It was the mid-80s and stuff. And he seemed like a really interesting guy. I always liked him. Everybody in class liked him. And he happened to coach several different sports, and one of them being football. Well, there was another coach that also was at the high school, and he had been there probably a lot longer. And he was known, for weightlifting and different things like that. On this day, evidently there had been a beef between the two of them that none of us knew because they were the adults and we were, children. But on this day, I guess the shorter, stockier coach decided that he had had enough, or he was going to confront the younger coach, who was taller, about whatever beef they had. And at the end of the hall in front of the coach's classroom, the much bulkier, stronger coach came up and just nailed him, just punched him in the face. So I went back to, as you notice, 85, 86, the Pirate, my freshman year. Went back to this and I looked it up, and sure enough, they were both in there for their respective sports and also football and stuff. And then, when I thought about doing this, I was like, should I? And I was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal and stuff. It's 40 years and stuff. From everything that I heard, the coach that did get hit, it was like one and done. It was like one punch, it was over. From everything that I heard, I think it broke his jaw. And, as I was deciding if I was going to do this podcast episode or not, I was like, do I remember if they were both there the next year? Because they're both like varsity football coaches. So I went to my sophomore yearbook, and they're both in it. So that means to me, after this, I don't know if it was a sucker punch. I don't know if they squared up. I just remember hearing that Coach so-and-so was basically knocked flat by this other coach with one punch, and it was a broken jaw and stuff. I don't remember much after that. And some of the people that I've asked about this that were in high school at the same time are clueless. They're like, I don't even remember that stuff. I said, yeah, no, I remember that happening. Anyways, if you'd not put the names out, because I'm trying to protect everybody. Now, I'm 55, so I'm guessing these guys have to be in their mid-60s to into their 70s or something like that, because, they're older than us dudes. I'm guessing they're close to 70. So then I was like, okay, so they were still on campus at least my sophomore year. So they evidently, the athletic director got to him and said, put your crap away, and you're just going to be coaching and stuff. So then I got out my junior yearbook, and the thing is, one of them was now no longer at the high school, and I don't know about junior high or anything like that. I don't know if they transfer or anything, but in the high school he was not there, but one of them still was. I'm not going to tell you which one was still there out of the two. the hitter or the hitee. But so one of them made it through the rest of the freshman year, the sophomore year, and the junior year of my high school. And then I got out my senior yearbook, and neither are in there. So this one occurrence, which most of you might sit there and say it's not that big of a deal, but in high school when you're 14 or 15 and you still look up to your teachers and stuff, and then one just takes one out and jacks him up, and he was strong enough that it wasn't like just, the guy's going to get back up. It was he flattened the dude and, jacked him up, broke the jaw and stuff. They still evidently came back and worked together for at least another full year, and then one of them stayed for another year after that. So to show you how the 80s were, neither was fired, and they both came back. They had jobs. It was the 80s, guys. And so that's just one story from the halls of Rockport-Fulton High School, the Pirates. If you guys enjoyed that, I've got dozens of stories that are not X-rated or bad or anything like that, but that are very interesting, unique to a high school experience that you guys might find interesting. If you find, if I get enough views on this or enough comments about, do some more like this, I'll do them. They're not going to hurt anybody. They're just kind of like little things that everybody went through. Everybody has their stories from high school. So if you have a podcast, you do yours. I got a podcast, I'm doing mine. But some of them are pretty interesting, So if you're interested, give me a thumbs up, let me have a comment, and I can make this little series about what went on for 4 years in high school that I know about at Rockport-Fulton High School. And we've got decades of people that went there. If you want me to cover yours, I'll do that too. I'll tell it, as a third person. But I hope that you enjoyed this short, easy little bitty episode about the coaches who brawled one day at Rockport-Fulton High School. If you enjoyed this, subscribe. We're 17 away from 1,500 subscribers. I'd love to get to that. So I thank you for all your support. I hope that you watch this, that you share this, that you enjoy this, and peace.